Welcome! This is the story of Axia and the sun's solar flares, a story about a girl who discovers the mysteries of the sun. Axia and her grandfather Silvio lived on a farm called Golden Wheat, just outside the big city of Solaris. Axia was a neurodivergent girl with autism. She loved colors, especially the bright yellow of the sun. She spent afternoons painting flowers, butterflies, and farm animals, organizing her crayons by size and color, while listening to her grandfather talk about how the sun helped their plants grow. Axia dreamed of becoming a scientist someday, to learn everything about the sun. She was curious why sometimes it was very hot and other times not so much. Every morning, she went to school in the city, where her teacher Delia taught science in a fun and inclusive way for all students. One day at school, Axia raised her hand and asked, "Teacher Delia, why does the sun shine more strongly some days than others?" Teacher Delia smiled and answered, "Because sometimes solar flares happen, Axia. Do you want to learn what they are?" Yes, exclaimed Axia excitedly. "I want to learn everything about them." Teacher Delia turned on the classroom screen and began to explain. Solar flares are huge explosions of light and energy on the sun's surface. They emit different types of radiation, such as X-rays, gamma rays, and ultraviolet light. They are the most powerful explosions in the solar system. A single flare can release as much energy as 1 billion hydrogen bombs. Acacia's eyes widened in surprise. "Why does that happen, teacher?" "Well, the sun has many magnetic fields that get twisted," continued Delia. "It's like messy hair after a restless night. When these fields twist too much, they snap and reconnect. This process is called magnetic reconnection, and it releases the huge energy that creates solar flares." "What happens after that?" asked Axia. "Sometimes, along with the flare, the sun releases a huge cloud of hot, electrically charged gas. This is called a coronal mass ejection, CME. It's like a giant bubble of plasma that bursts from the sun's outer atmosphere, called the corona," explained Delia. "How amazing!" said Axia excitedly. Delia nodded and continued. "These eruptions can produce 3 things: a bright flash called a solar flare, a storm of fast-moving solar particles, and a large cloud of solar material moving away from the sun, the CME." Axia thought for a moment and asked, "How do we know if they are strong or weak?" "Solar flares are classified by strength," explained Delia, drawing a scale on the board. "There are 5 types: A, B, C, M, and X. A-class flares are the weakest, barely noticeable. B-class are a bit stronger. C-class can cause minor effects in space. M-class are more powerful and can affect communications on Earth. X-class flares are the most powerful." She pointed at X with a bright yellow marker. "Are X-class flares dangerous?" asked Axia curiously. Delia nodded gently. "They are very strong, Axia. Each class increases 10 times in power compared to the previous one. That means an X-class flare is 100 times stronger than a C-class. The most powerful flare recorded was in 2003, so intense that NASA instruments couldn't measure it beyond X28. "That's amazing," said Axia. "Do they reach us?" "The energy travels at the speed of light," explained Delia, "so it takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. But don't worry, Axia. Our atmosphere and magnetic field protect us. We don't feel the effects directly, although strong flares can affect satellites, radio signals, or space communications. Do they also make lights appear in the sky? Asked Axia excitedly. Exactly, answered Delia. When solar particles collide with Earth's magnetic field, they travel toward the poles and mix with gases in the atmosphere. This energy dance creates the auroras, green, pink, and violet lights that paint the sky. It's the sun's art in motion. Axia smiled in wonder. So the sun also paints the sky, just like I do. Delia winked at her. Exactly, little scientist. That afternoon, when Axia returned home, she ran to her grandfather, Grandpa Silvio. Grandpa, today I learned all about solar flares and the auroras. Grandpa Silvio listened carefully and smiled.
You know, Axia, when I was young, I liked science too. I learned that the sun is very important for crops. Strong solar storms can sometimes change the weather a little, which can affect the soil and plants.
So the sun also helps the harvest, right? Axia asked.
Exactly. The sun gives life, warmth, and food. Everything that grows does so thanks to its energy.
Axia hugged her grandfather and said, Someday I'll be a scientist and study the sun, so I can tell farmers like you when solar storms are coming. Grandpa Silvio gently stroked her hair.
I will be proud of you, my little sun scientists.
That night, Axia looked at the bright sky and thought, the sun has its own language, and I want to learn how to listen.